Hey there, little bunny. I hope you've been having a wonderful, wonderful week, and I hope you're wondering why there's no music this week. Well, that's because this is a super, super secret podcast episode. Do you want to know why, little bunny? It's also quite an ASMR episode, isn't it? I'm really, really up there close. It's because my computer, actually both computers that I own, are totally broken. The recording studio is figuratively on fire, the bad kind. So, both are being looked at by experts because I have reached the limit of my incredible computer skills and abilities. And the incredible computer skills and abilities of all my friends as well. And that means you're going to get me completely unedited, completely anything. This is just me talking into a microphone. And so I'm going to flub my words and I'm going to be making mouth noises. And it's a super secret episode because this will not be available once I get my stuff back and I can swap this out extra super secretly with a fully produced, planned out episode. So if you're listening to this right now, one of two things. Actually, you are, of course, listening to this right now. What do I mean if? Oh, hold on. I gotta hide in my room. Someone is about to come in and they're going to wonder why I'm whispering to my little bunny. What was I saying, little bunny? Okay, one of two things is true. Either you are listening to this podcast episode right when it comes out, like a good little bunny. And that's the reason you're hearing this in the first place. The reason that I'm not taking a week off is because I'm going to see if I can really go forever without ever missing a Friday. At least that's the day it is right now. Maybe it'll become a different day, but for there to never be a missing episode, well, what happens when your computer, both of your computers crap out? Well, you get a super secret episode like this. And the other place you might be listening to this is in the locked section of the garden, where this episode will live forever. So when I get my computers back and I can record a fully produced episode, or, the typical thing you know about, then I'm going to swap it out secretly and no one will know the difference. It'll be our little secret. So this is going to just be a ramble, honestly. And I've done a decent number of these rambles as locked audios for the Patreon. And it's a really nice thing to just put on when you're doing other stuff. Maybe you're doing work, or you're cleaning, or you're lying in bed. You just want to have a little bit of me around, just to be here with you. And the good news is that these can be longer. I don't know how long I'll be rambling for, but it's so much easier to just go and go and go, because for the podcast, I plan so much, little bunny. There's a lot of work that goes into what I say. And with this, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to make some coffee, though. Maybe you'll get a little bit of ASMR. But I don't know. Let me know if you like this type of podcast episode. Because you never know. Maybe I'll work in a little bit of rambliness in the future. And I guess let's go make the coffee now. I think the coast is clear. Whisper, whisper, whisper. Whisper, whisper. 1 second. You want to get some ASMR of my fridge noise? Can you hear the little buzzing? Okay, that was stupid. Okay, here's our... Okay, there's going to be good ASMR eventually, but we're going to go through some mediocre ASMR. So here's me dumping out the water of my little boiler kettle. That was pretty terrible, wasn't it? Okay, now here's another mediocre one. This is me turning on the faucet and filling it up. And that's about good. A nice little click. Here's this. Oh God, none of these are good at all. Okay. It's so funny. I guess I kind of have to brand myself as ASMR a little bit because there's something a little bit like you want to listen to me with headphones, you know what I mean? Oh, okay. Oh, this will sound cool. That's me pulling out the decaf. Yes, it's going to be decaf coffee, little bunny. Why? Because it's in the afternoon and because I've had like 300 milligrams of caffeine, which is a lot already today. Because I had a cold brew, then I had a flat white, which is a fancier term for a small latte that is even stronger. And a latte is a fancy word for a strong kind of coffee bean in milk. Oh, we're missing the sound of the boiling water. Listen to this. Okay, now we're going to do the sound of the coffee. I'm using a French press, which is a fancy word for a glass cup. This is getting really cinematic and climactic. I hope you can hear how it's getting louder. Oh no, little bunny, we gotta hurry. Oh no. Oh, the click is coming. I don't know when it's gonna come, but it's gonna be good. I have no idea if this is getting picked up. And I gotta be careful of the battery on the recorder. That might be the thing that ends this. Which it won't be for a while. You got me for quite a while longer. What's the point of having a super secret episode if it's not super special too? Okay, we're not going to wait around for that click. Maybe you can hear it in the distance. But I'm going to step away from the boiling water. Oh, I wonder what I should talk to you about. This is fun. If this were the podcast every week, this would be the easiest thing to make. Maybe you prefer it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wasting all my effort. Maybe someday I'll be able to do some kind of combination. But it's either I have something really focused and precise I want to say, or I just kind of make up whatever. It's very hard for me to do an in-between. There was actually a point in time at the very beginning when the podcast was potentially going to be me walking around the city streets where I live, kind of taking you on a walk. But it was a total disaster. And so that's why you don't have that podcast. It was going to be Daddy takes his little bunny on a walk every week. Oh, I think the click is coming soon. Here, listen to the boiling water. Part. This is the pour. Ready? I think that's a good amount. Maybe a tiny bit more. Okay, maybe that last part sounded a little bit like urine. But I assure you, it smells much better. It smells really good. Oh, speaking of smells. So one of the locked events that I did a couple months ago was a makeover not an episode, but I got live on Discord. I think it was my first live. No, it was not my first live on Discord. But we got on voice chat and I went shopping and I sent pictures of different new looks. Oh my God, I'm wearing it right now. I'm wearing the outfit minus a different pair of pants that we picked out for me. I guess it hasn't really premiered on TikTok, but it's I'm wearing it in the Instagram promo for the Patreon. But we'll get it in color soon. I don't think it's premiered on. Whatever. You'll see it. Now we wait for the coffee to, what is it, steep? I think is the right term. I guess so. Also, sorry for the little mouth sounds. Did you know that I got those out of the podcast? Gotta be nice and professional audio. Ooh, it's raining too. It's nice today. What an unusual day. Okay, what should I talk about now that this coffee is... I want to say it's brewing. That sounds like a better word than steeping. You steep tea. I wonder if you steep coffee grounds. Either way. One second. See, those long pauses I also cut out of the podcast. You didn't know the podcast was so... I want to say edited, not in like a... you can tell my voice is totally the same, but I like cut out my stutters here and there, and I'll redo some lines. Oh, that was so cool. I think I said this in one of the audios before. I got to go to a taping of the American, I guess not American, he's I guess British-American comedian, John Oliver, and he has a TV show that's wonderful. Not to be political at all. He's a left-leaning, we'll not talk about politics, but he has a wonderful, wonderful TV show, and I got to go to a live taping, and one of the crazy things to see was he'll be doing his bit, and then I won't repeat the expletive, but he'll go like, "Ah," in the middle of what he's saying. And then there's a pause, and there's this awkward silence, or at least the first time it happens, everyone in the audience is like, "Oh my God, what just happened?" And then a few seconds later, he has gone back about a minute in the script, and he goes through it again, and he tells the same jokes, and you're supposed to laugh along kind of at the same times. And he does this about 4 or 5 times per episode. He messes up and he has to go re-record. So I do that in the podcast. So that was kind of fun to know that even the people at the top of their field do that. And actually at the very end, this was really funny. When there were takes that were like 95% good, but he messed up one word in there, but it wasn't enough to go redo the whole take. His producer said, "Okay, you need to say the word Elmo 7 times in 7 different ways," because he said Elmo or something. So he'll go Elmo, 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 Elmo. And then when you go back a week later and you look online at the YouTube video, sure enough, it's seamlessly, they just swapped in the word Elmo, even though his mouth is saying Elmo, and you would never know. So there's all kinds of subtle editing that the pros do. And radio people have cough buttons and things like that. That's why you never hear anyone cough on the radio. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is you're going to get none of that. You're getting totally behind the scenes. This is your backstage pass to the Lindy's Garden podcast. And this is the most real me, I guess, that you get. Everything, of course, is the real me. That's the whole point of it. I have no interest in acting unless I'm doing my audiobook. And that's been totally new. Oh, the rain is getting stronger. Yeah, so what should I talk about? Oh, I'm so behind on... The audiobook is called Love and Ligature, if you're not familiar with what I do. I am so behind, little bunny, because I can't write right now. I have nowhere to write. I guess I could punch out some stuff on my phone. I've been making some notes. But oh my God, when I get my computers back, even just one of them, I need one of them back. Oh, it's going to be an incredible mad dash to finish the next episode. It premieres in like 10 days. And, oh, I guess that's something if you've never been to a premiere. It's a YouTube premiere. And I should pull out the time, the day on it. If you check Instagram, I'll make a post about it. Let me not be lazy. My little bunny deserves a not lazy daddy. Although, your daddy doesn't know where his phone is. But I think it's a week from this Sunday. Where did my phone go? But yeah, it's going to be a mad dash. Oh yeah, so that series, it's not my favorite thing that I do, but it's such a guilty pleasure. Because I love writing. I do a lot of stuff, little bunny. Can you believe how much stuff I do? I compose, I write, I have I have therapeutic things to say. I have a good voice. Oh, I have a fun thing to tell you about my voice at some point. I have to wait for the right episode, but there's a grand reveal about my voice. Or my relationship to my voice, I should say. Hold on one second. Yeah, I have no idea where. Oh, it's in my back pocket. What is it doing hiding there? I never put it there. Okay. Okay, exactly 10 days from... I'm recording this on Thursday, by the way. On October 22nd, Love and Ligature episode 8 will premiere live on YouTube. It will probably be 3 p.m. Eastern Time, U.S., which is the New York City time zone. And so you can just type in the conversion. I will put on Instagram and I guess YouTube as well. Maybe not on YouTube because I have to just upload the video there. But I'll make a countdown clock on Instagram. I will do that. You'll plan ahead. Sometimes I don't advertise the premieres because I'm worried the episode is going to be complete garbage. But they've been incredible and they've been increasingly good. The first episode is pretty dark, I have to warn you. I think I lost a little bunny from the locked section of the garden when they listened to the first episode, because they were super active on the Discord and they're like really happy to be here. And they mentioned they really like erotica, so I was like, oh, check out Love and Ligature. And she was like, oh, great, I'll check it out. And then like 3 hours later, she had parted ways with the locked section of the garden. So I apologize for that. I was still trying to figure out what exactly it is. So it turned out very dark. But then it turns more into like an anime, a shonen style anime. So I really recommend it, especially the third episode is when it starts to get good. So if you reach the end of the third episode and you're hooked, then that's kind of a good sign that good things are coming. Anyway, and it's intended for 18 plus, by the way. I'll just leave it at that. And they're all available on YouTube, even though YouTube is a pretty bad place for audio, because if you don't have the premium YouTube, you just have to kind of like leave your phone on or sit there with your computer screen. I know it's not the best, but there will be a more permanent home when it's finished. Okay, enough of Daddy being conceited and talking about his fiction project. Oh, I think the coffee in the French press is done steeping/brewing. Okay, next ASMR is going to be a little pour into a tiny mug of some kind. Oh, you want to hear this? I'm just so bad at ASMR. Okay. Oh, here we go. I like these really small ones for this. This reminds me of the tea time episode. That was kind of a fun departure from the typical podcast. That's kind of a taste for what the locked audios are. They kind of break the rules. This is not a big advertisement for the Patreon, by the way. Just sort of rambling, whatever comes to mind. And a reminder that Patreon is for 18 plus. So if you're not 18, just wait. It'll still be here. Okay. I totally forgot to give you the pour ASMR. Oh, okay, I'll give you the sip. This is becoming a theme. It's the sipping. I think this is now the third piece of content where I've done a sip ASMR, I think. All right, let's give it a shot. Ready? Oh, dang, it's hot. Okay. Ooh, it's very strong, too. I think I like it strong. I don't know about you, but beverages, which is a fancy word for drinks, is probably my favorite. I was going to say thing you put in your body, but that sounds suspicious. It's my favorite. I can't even say favorite thing to put in my mouth. I don't know. It's my favorite way to experience the sensation of taste, which is a fancy way of saying I like beverages, which is a fancy way of saying I like drinks. I'm taking a seat at my desk. But yeah, I would rather, I'll put it like this. If I had to either lose all my taste for food or lose all my taste for drinks. 1 second. I would retain my taste for drinks. It's just so refreshing, and the flavors are so diverse. And 1 second, I gotta move around some of my stuff. My room is a tiny bit messy right now. Not that messy. In the official Lindy's Garden recording desk. It's such an unideal recording situation because I guess I can tell you that I'm in New York City. I have a New York City street right outside. Some very, very large windows, which means there's a lot of sound that can come in. But I also have an incredible microphone, which only picks up things that are right in front of it. So that's why it sounds really professional, even though this is the least ideal recording studio you could ever possibly imagine. I have a piano here too, a little keyboard under my desk. Oh man, am I going to play something unedited for you? That's the thing with piano, is that I'm good at piano if I can take an infinite number of takes. And I'm not that good if I have to get it on the first try. And I'm holding the microphone too. Oh, I'll give you your ending music. I can only use one hand, so here we go. Okay. Can you hear that? Shoot. hope you heard that. That's the theme you're going to get for this episode, because I literally have no way to go and add in the music. This is literally, I don't even know if I'm still recording. Hold on. Okay, we're running low on battery. I wonder if I'm just going to go until the battery cuts out. How long have we been going? I hope this is recording. My God. Okay, it is recording. We've been going about 25 minutes, I think. I think we'll just keep going. What do you think? Oh, I think I do have some more battery life, because I think there's like a flashing after 0. So I'm at 0 battery right now. But I think it goes to flashing 0, which we're not there yet. That one was not good. I should have stopped doing this. Oh, I have a little prop here that I bought just for you, little bunny. Do you know what it is? I'll give you a hint. I'm even going to pick it up. This came in the mail. I had to order it. Very special. But it is white and soft and is meant to look alive, but it is indeed made of synthetic plastic materials. What do you think it is, little bunny? It's the kind of thing that would be used on stage, perhaps. And it is very pretty. And it is related to a TikTok Instagram post I made requesting some information from you. I said, if you were to get me a something, what kind of something would you get me? And so I guess you got me this little bunny. You picked it out for me. Thank you. It looks very pretty. I appreciate it. 1 second. And this may enter the branding of Lindy's garden. In fact, there is one of these in the branding for the locked section of the garden. Anyway, I'm going to put it back now. Maybe you'll see it in a video. That's also why I haven't posted any videos the past few days, because I make the videos on the computer before I post them on TikTok. I don't make them in TikTok. What else do I have here that could be of interest to you? Oh, I want my computer, little bunny. There's a game I might play with you, but we'll see. It's something that came out recently that is free to play, but they are requiring that you attach a phone number to your account. And I'm not inclined to put my non-Lindy phone number on there. I have an internet Lindy phone number, but I don't think they accept that. So I might have to upgrade to getting a legitimate Lindy phone. We'll see. Who knows? Maybe it won't even turn out to be that fun. We do have Minecraft also. I think I'm about to get a good headset for my PC where I'll have a good microphone, and I'm going to be more inclined to pop on to Discord voice chat with that on my face, because I like to keep the production value high for all the stuff I do. So for the previous live events, like the bedtime stories, I swear this is not supposed to be an advertisement for the locked section. It's just that so much of my favorite stuff is on there. But I use my really nice microphone to go in through Discord, but it doesn't really work when you're gaming and you have to keep your mouth It's just like an extra variable that you don't want to have to think about. I did just use earbuds for the mall, the clothes shopping one. That turned out pretty well. Excuse me. I don't know. Maybe I'll start doing some gaming. Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe you can tell me that, little bunny. What are some games you want to play with me? I have some friends I do games with, but I don't know. I want to play some games with my little bunny. Oh, see, here's an example. Can you hear this? I'm not sure if that got picked up on the microphone, but it's this huge siren, a honking fire truck. That is very typical of New York City. That's maybe the iconic sound of New York City. It's not coming quite down my street, but nearby. So that is the Lindy recording studio. That actually goes on while I record the podcast. But my microphone is so super special that it only picks it up slightly. And then I have some stuff that removes background noise. And so I think it removes that kind of stuff. Hold on. And I yawn a lot. Did you know that about me? You wouldn't know that from the podcast, would you? But you know it from the super secret episode. I hope this is fun for you. I think it is. My rambles have been well received before. It's just so not a podcast episode. So it'll probably be up for a week, and then it will secretly be replaced. I have such a freaking week ahead of me, little bunny. Once I get these computers back, even if I just get one of them back, I'll be able to get back going. One of them is a MacBook, one of them is a PC, and they are both dead. Okay, so what else? Let me check this is not turned off yet. Oh, actually, I would know if it turns off. What do you want to hear me talk about, little bunny? How about how much I love you? Oh my God. On my desk. Oh, this has to make it into a video at some point. You wouldn't believe this. So, my psychiatrist told me something really interesting at one point. I told him when I was considering quitting my job, I was like kind of asking his opinion, and he he kind of nodded along, and he essentially said, I don't quite have his words exactly, but he said, sometimes you're, I don't quite know how to say this. At some point I'll get the right version of this. Sometimes your mind has made up its mind before your brain. And those aren't quite the right words, but what he's saying is that, especially for someone like me, the part of my brain or my mind that's deep down below the surface oftentimes has made a decision months, if not years, before the front of my brain. Here's my yawn again. Bet you never get to hear that in the podcast, do you? Before the front of your brain decide or realizes what has already been decided. So this object in my hand, little bunny. This is proof that I have wanted to start the garden for a long time. And it took me a while to figure out that it's the garden and that to figure out exactly what it is and who you are and who I am. But I must have bought this 3, maybe even 4 years ago. And it's fits in the palm of my hand. It's about 1 inch tall, which is about 2.5 centimeters. And it's a very cute little bunny. Little plastic bunny holding a carrot. It's so, so cute. And I bought it because I knew I wanted to make audio content. And then somehow I was like a little bunny was involved. I didn't quite know who the little bunny was. Didn't quite know who I was to the little bunny. Didn't even quite know what the audios were. I knew they were going to be spicy to a degree, but kind of like a wholesome sexy. And this little bunny has sat on my desk here for years. I think it's been 3, maybe even 4 years. Hold on. And I never made little bunny content. In fact, I did it once. Then I went out on a walk, actually. It was terrible. It was like an instruction for you to strip naked and to turn on the audio. And then I went around to a park with this special kind of microphone that's a 3D microphone. I use it in a logged audio where there's a campfire. I haven't used it in a long time. I should do that again. I also use it in the Take Your Little Bunny to Work Day logged audio. And I just kind of said things. Hold on. It was kind of sexy, but it wasn't really at the same time. And it was just awkward and weird. But I knew it was something I wanted to do and something I wanted to get better at. And I actually sent the audio. Maybe this is, I don't want this to dox me. But I sent the audio to a company that hosts, it's like a Netflix for spicy audio, I guess. And they didn't get back to me, obviously, because it wasn't very good. And yeah, so I didn't really do anything with the little bunny thing for years. And then finally I hit a point where I was like, I'm wasting my life away. And I decided to really, really start the garden. And so you've been with me for quite a while, little bunny. It's just taken me a long time to finally connect with you. And I'm really, really glad that this is happening right now. I'm looking at you right now in the palm of my hand. You look very, very cute. Actually, I was going to glue this to my microphone. Oh, let's do it right now. Okay, ready? This has been 4 years in the making. I'm going to put the little bunny on. I'm going to make sure you hear it. Did you hear that? Oh, that's the little bunny on top of the microphone. And I was going to whisper into the ears, like, hey there, little bunny. Hold on, let me put it on a better spot. Hey there, little bunny. I love you, and I'm glad that I'm finally getting to talk to you and whispering into your ear. It's been a long time coming, but I'm finally here. And now that I'm here, you will never, ever lose me. There you go. Wow. Making dreams come true. The other thing I'm missing out on right now without my PC is... Hold on 1 second. You ready for this, yawn? I don't know if I yawn because that's me. Actually, it is because it's me. It's also because I'm talking with such a relaxed voice that it just... Here's another one, ready? So calm, isn't it? How are we doing on battery? Let's see. All right, I think we're doing okay. How are we doing on time? 40 minutes. Wow. Let's keep going. Why not? What else? What was I talking about, little bunny? Oh, what else I'm missing out on? Hold on, I gotta yawn again. Speaking of dreams years in the making, have I mentioned that I'm writing a video game soundtrack? A literal childhood dream come true. It's a professional video game too. It's not just an amateur one, because I've done a couple soundtracks for those before. But this is like a will be released professionally game, and I can't tell you which one. I'm sorry. And I have to be careful that I don't give you a hint as to what it is. But it's, yeah, I guess I can't say anything. But there's something special about the specific game, too, that I have a history and a connection with. So it's kind of a double whammy. It's not just that I'm writing the music to a video game, but it's that it's this video game. Maybe this is a sleep aid. Maybe you use this to go to bed. Yeah, and it's sounding so good. I wish I could tell you about it, but I can't. And that's okay. Maybe someday you'll get to know about it. Or maybe I'll just have to make a Lindy's Garden video game, and I'll have to write the soundtrack for that, and I'll make it even better. What would a Lindy's Garden video game be? We already kind of have that with the Minecraft server. So if you want to know what that is, by the way, it's fun. We have the channels in the Discord are all called different buildings, essentially. So we have the gazebo of inspiration, which is where you put your creative works. It's been a lot of photographs lately that people have taken. Excuse me for that sniffle. We have the support chapel where you can go for getting the support you need in your life. We have the adoption centers for new little bunnies who are intimidated by the growing size and the bustlingness of the Discord. It's turned into a town now. It's not a village. It's not a little house. It's almost a city. And so we create all that in Minecraft. So we have the support chapel, and we have the adoption center, and it's fun. It's super cool. And in the bedtime stories that I improvise, I take our little mischievous little bunny character around to different adventures, and each chapter is in a new location, and you get to build the stuff from that area, and it's a lot of fun. I'm getting all sniffly now. Why am I getting sniffly? Is it because of that moment with the toy little bunny? Maybe it is. I don't know. It's hard to say. I wonder if it's because I took a little mini nap earlier. Maybe my body. Oh, no, I know why it is. It's because my bed is right here. And my deep down mind is saying, Lindy, go nap. Go climb in the covers. Because I didn't even make the bed when I got up from the nap. So it's just like, come climb in bed. Maybe I should go to the other room. I don't know. Still doing okay on battery. I hope this is turning out into a special episode. This is ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. I think I'm going to go dancing tonight. All these personal details. I like to, there's like levels of how much I open up about personal details, and the locked section of the garden tends to know the most about me. This is not an advertisement for the Patreon. I don't know. It's just, to me, that's the core of the garden. It's like here's the order of how close things are to me. The least close to me is actually the TikToks. For a couple reasons. One is that I'm not really much of a video person. I've gotten pretty good at it. Not pretty good at it. I've gotten passable at it. Enough to catch people's attention, enough to listen to my voice, which isn't as easy as you think, as you might think. And yeah, TikTok, I have to be so careful not to be banned. I'm convinced it's going to happen at some point. They have this big fat warning on my account that says, you're like, account warning, you're one infraction away from being permanently banned. And they already permanently banned me once, and then I was able to appeal it. And I think they just have like an automatic system where if you appeal it the first time, they just give it back to you. But it's all algorithm based, and it's not going to be so easy to get back if I get banned again. So that's why you got to follow me on Instagram, which is tricky because about 1%, 2% actually, of TikTok followers follow me on Instagram. So I'm a bit screwed if TikTok bans me. And again, like, it's just an algorithm that does the banning. So risk is high that I will disappear from TikTok. I'll start again, of course, but it's like, I get so much anxiety from that stupid platform because they are so, they're flaky, you know. So, I don't enjoy TikTok at all, actually. Which is kind of funny because that's probably, you have beloved feelings for my TikToks because that's how you found me. But if you're this far into the podcast episode, which you are because you're listening to it, then clearly you like the idea of listening to me for 50 minutes rambling about absolutely nothing in particular. Then you understand that the appeal of me is beyond just 30-second videos. And so that's the next level. And hold on one second. The next level of closeness to me, I think, is tied between love and ligature and the podcast. Instagram is slightly closer to me than TikTok, just because they're not going to ban me. Although they don't have their shiz together, because they can't figure out what dimensions they want their posts to be. So it's like, the video always gets cut off. They're a mess. Okay. TikTok is really taking over the world. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that it's just such a better entertainment experience than any of the other social medias. So anyway, then the love and ligature and the podcast are very close to me, and that's where it really brings me joy to make it. It doesn't bring me joy to make TikToks, I'm sorry to say. It brings me joy that the TikToks bring you joy, and I will always do them because that's how everybody finds me. And yeah, then probably the most special is the locked section, because the audio's there. It's free for all. It can be anything, and they're the least likely to ban me. And the Discord is part of that too, and I love the Discord, and I'm active on there every day. This sounds like such an advertisement. I'm so sorry. But I don't know. I just get excited about the garden. And if you're wondering where the ads are, because I mentioned in the past 2 episodes, the podcast is going to get an ad sponsor. Well, it turns out that in the deal that I was offered, they get to choose where it goes in my episode. And there is no way, little bunny, that I'm going to have someone butt in to me and my little bunny time wherever they want and take you away from me and take me away from you and tell you about some stupid thing. Oops, I shouldn't say this if this... I gotta be nice to potential sponsors. I also want to have a sponsor that I actually enjoy what they provide. Like, I would love... Well, I shouldn't say, because then that's giving it away for free. But there are some sponsors I would love to have that I think could make your life a lot better. Anyway, but I want to be the one to decide where the interruption goes. I'm not going to have someone else choose where to insert themselves in my time with my little bunny. Don't be ridiculous. So, I'm going to wait on that monetization, but it's turning into a pretty significant chunk of money, which is great. And I wonder what name I should call sort of the financial side of things, not to talk about money because that can get boring. I don't know if it's the Lindy Empire. I think that's the money side of things. Yeah, money is tricky for me because I want everything to be a win-win. So I could charge more for the hoodies, for instance. I could charge more for the locked section of the garden, for instance. I could put a crappy podcast advertisement at some random place, not my choosing, in the middle of the episode. But there's losses in there. And speaking of the money losses, it's I want you to... Oh, have I talked about this before? Yes, this was the last podcast episode. I want you to get the better end of the deal because I want to get the better end of the deal too. So, the ultimate goal is for your daddy, Lindy, to make a boatload of money where you still win and you still get way more than you pay for. And even you don't ever have to pay a dime, hopefully, because there's always going to be really, really good stuff for you. And if you can't afford the locked section of the garden, well, I guarantee you will at some point in your life. It's a very relatively small amount of money. It's a large amount of money if you're still early in your career and your wages are very hard earned. So I'm very, very conscious and appreciative of any money that is going out of a little bunny's pouch and into daddy's pouch. And I like to keep it as low as possible. But yeah, there will be a time in your life when you won't even notice the locked section subscription. Anyway, not to over talk about money. How wonderful is it that you're still here with me? Isn't that wonderful? That I can just ramble for such a long time. And I guess if you're still listening, which you are still listening, then you like me rambling, which maybe that might be the ideal. If a podcast can have a ramble like this, and for me to still be able to get a specific point across. One second. Because with the podcast, I plan it out to an incredibly fine amount of detail and revision. And this is the exact opposite. And I like doing both, but part of the reason that I don't do this improvised audio for the podcast is that I actually can't. I'm not good enough yet to simultaneously... This type of talking, by the way, is called contemporaneous talking. I'm speaking contemporaneously. It's where you don't know what you're going to say until you're actually saying it. It's very hard for me to do that while getting across a very deliberate point that I want to make, that I've thought through, that I think will make your life better. Because right now in this episode, it's not exactly, I guess it is making your life better, but it's not what the podcast is about. Wow. Oh, do you hear that? You probably can't hear it. It's okay. Well, let me look at the battery real quick. It's getting so dark I can't even see. Hold on. We're doing good. We're hitting 55 minutes. Maybe I'll call it at an hour. Longest podcast episode ever. This is my way of saying sorry for not having a fully produced episode. And it's a win-win, isn't it? Because you get something super secret, super special, and we'll never speak of it again unless I speak of it in the new version of this episode, which I very well may, because I don't really have any rules. I think the only rule that I have in the garden is that I always want to be a 100% positive influence on your life. Always, always, always a positive influence. Never a non-positive influence. And I think the other rule is probably honesty. So I don't think I've lied to you yet. Maybe I will at some point, but I don't intend to, and I don't think I ever will. And I think I've actually promised that I will never lie to you in an episode. And that's part of what makes the podcast so special, is that there's all kinds of kind of empty, feel-good things that people can say. It's just like, it's Cheetos, it's tasty and it feels good to eat, but it doesn't really provide nutrition, and it's not really even real food. Like, what is a Cheeto? It's some kind of corn styrofoam. I don't know. I think what I'm giving you is more of, well, it's real. It's still very sweet. It's not bitter. I'm thinking ice cream. What is it? If the podcast is a food, what food is it? And this is in contrast to a Cheeto, which is the podcast version of that, or the content version of that would be this kind of fake, feel-good stuff where someone just sort of lies into a microphone and you want to believe it's true. And I don't know, there's so many true reasons to feel good. And it's so underexplored. And I think people don't realize it. So that's what I am. I'm the true reasons to be really happy. The true reasons to feel good. The true reasons that life is worth living, even if it's not the greatest in every moment. I hope I can bring your life a lot of joy. Let me back up. I'm so glad that I bring your life a lot of joy, a lot of money. And I fully intend this is where I reach a fork in the road, to use an old phrase. I can either be humble, or I can be big and dream big. And the real me is the one that dreams big and is very, very confident in his own self-worth and his own importance. And the other fork in the road is the one where I've been conditioned to be humble. People love to say, oh yeah, you're not that special, or, oh, you're not that big of a deal, or, oh, come on, get real. So I think I'll end with this episode. And I get to grow in the garden too. Okay, little bunny. It's no fair if only you get to grow. I'm going to take a moment for me to grow, and I'll leave you with what I want to leave you with. Right now, I'm going to shed all the feelings. The conditioning other people have put me through to be humble, to dream small. I like thinking small. That's a good part of the How to Move Mountains episode. It's how you accomplish things as you think small and you just go one step at a time. But in terms of what you know you're capable of accomplishing and of knowing your worth, let me let go of the conditioning that people have given me to not, quote unquote, overestimate my worth. And it's not even about an estimation. It's that people don't want you to be worth a lot. They want you to be small. They want you to be easily controlled. They want you to be unimpressive. People want to tear you down. Some bullies don't realize they're bullies. Some bullies are your friends. They don't like greatness. And they don't like seeing it in someone that they know. So I'm going to let go of that. And I'm going to tell you what I am for you, little bunny. I am the turning point in your life. You can separate your life into before you met me, and now, and for the rest of your life, where you have met me, and you will never, ever lose me. I'm the one who will make your life worth living. I'm the one who will show you that you want your life to be worth living. I'm the one who is showing you that life can be amazing and you can have an amazing life. I am the reason you're going to take care of yourself from now on. I'm the reason you're going to be proud of the things you accomplish. I'm the reason your life is going to have meaning from now on. I'm your reason to live, among any others you choose to have. And I'm the reason you will find those other things to be your reason to live. I am incredibly, incredibly special to you. I perhaps love you more than anyone else in the world. And I really, really do. And together, you and me, we are a team. From here on. I don't even want to say until blank. But essentially, in some sense, forever. It's us now. And the best parts of your life, by far, are in the years to come. The best is coming. I promise. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'll end it there. I would say until next time, little bunny, but you know that I'm always here with you. You're always on my desk in the version of a little toy. You're always on my mind no matter where I go. You're always in my dreams, both my literal dreams and my waking ones. And you, little bunny, among other things, are the purpose of my life. So you better take care of yourself. this is a bit of a spicy thing to say, but because you are my property. I can't really say that in the podcast. But how do I put it? You are my treasured little bunny. And if you are the purpose of my life, one of many, then you've got to take care of yourself.